Welcome. I'm Taylor Baker, here with a brief look at the history of collection development at the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library. Joining me will be Earl Perkins, who will give us an insider's look at the process. Welcome, Earl.
Thank you, Taylor. And I'm excited to be here to share my knowledge of the collection department.
Let's begin by reviewing some of the collection development history at the BECPL. As I understand it, in the beginning there was the print checklist and the print hot list, and they were good, except for the labor-intensive process of producing them, which involved typing each title. Typing a review for each title that didn't have a standard review citation arranging all the titles into a template, photocopying and sending the whole thing out to be printed on perforated paper. Then you got it. Made your selections, filed your orders in a drawer, and sent the tally sheet to acquisitions by the deadline.
That's correct, Taylor. Remember, we also had a book selection committee and monthly checklist schedules.
Let's review 1992 with headline correspondent Maureen Killian.
Hello, I'm Maureen Killian with a look back at the library headlines of 1992. In 1992, it was announced that Sunday hours would be restored the following year. The Business Files database was acquired, giving patrons access to the full test of investment reports, corporate profiles, and news from trade journals. But the big news in 1992 was sex. Madonna's book had everyone weighing in, from should it be in the library to how do I get to see it? I'm Maureen Killian with a quick look at 1992.
Earl, tell us about 1992 from a collection development perspective.
Well, it was the dawn of the rush list. Items formerly offered on the weekly hot list were now pre-selected for library locations and paid for with centralized funds. No more, should I buy the Daniel Steele or the James Patterson, or quantities of copies for no-brainer bestseller dilemmas. And it was better, although very controversial in its time. VHS material now appeared with other hot items, making libraries more competitive with Blockbuster.
I remember VHS tapes and the problems I had rewinding them when they jammed in my machine. Let's go back to Maureen as we move forward to the year 2000.
The 21st century found the library rebranding itself with a new logo. Gone was the wise old owl, and in its place a logo meant to represent open pages of a book and the sun's rays. County Executive Joel Giambra was pushing regionalism for libraries, while protesters called for a library Bill of Rights. Director Diane Chrisman assured the public that music librarians would not be eliminated. And Cybertrain, a traveling classroom with 8 laptops, was unveiled. I'm Maureen Killian with a quick look at the year 2000.
Earl, how was collection development moving forward at this time?
It was an exciting time, Taylor. The checklist went electronic. Book selection lists were compiled using Broadart's Bibbs product, while librarian selections were made online and retrieved by acquisitions electronically. Still, clerks typed random annotations for items without a standard review citation into a Bibbs note field. Media checklists still used the paper process.
I can see how going electronic helped the book buying process. We'll be right back to look at 2003.
In 2003, the Library Board of Trustees voted to install internet filters in exchange for about $140,000 in federal technology rebates. A new library was being considered in South Buffalo. Building it meant that 2 older libraries would be closed. Patrons rallied to save their libraries, and the new one was never built. 1,500 square foot climate-controlled estate file room was opened at the Central Library. The files are linked to a computerized file index for rapid location and retrieval. The library expanded their web presence to include online book clubs for patrons. Finally, an editorial in the Buffalo News proclaimed that public libraries are the best deal in town.
I certainly agree that libraries are one of the best deals in town. I download audiobooks all the time. Earl, did media ever move into the electronic age?
Oh, it certainly did, Taylor. Media was offered on a somewhat awkward in-house library software, eliminating the paper trail and the dreaded faxing of the checklist order form to ensure that you didn't miss the boat with the acquisition's monthly order. The rush list created an internal electronic form system for submission to acquisitions and adds audiobooks and music CDs, creating, checking, compiling, invoicing. Still, the process continued to evolve.
I'm trying to guess what comes next. I wonder if Maureen has any clues in 2008.
Library Director Bridget Quinn Carey aired her concerns about library funding during her annual State of the Library address. The library introduced patrons to Alexander Hamilton by installing a traveling exhibit. Alexander Hamilton, the man who made modern America. The Buffalo News wrote about how libraries are moving forward in this information age. Finally, graphic novels came of age, reaching scores of new readers. I'm Maureen Killian, with a look back at the library headlines.
I see the progression collection development is making. What comes next, Earl?
Well, this is the dawning of Midwest, Baker, and Taylor Online. Midwest provides a much more streamlined selection order process for media materials. Items appear on order almost instantly. Item records are imported into the database automatically. Staff does not need to locate and import or create the bib record. Baker and Taylor Online and Midwest both offer the Technical Services Department the opportunity to submit orders through 9XX.
I'm sure everyone appreciated media ordering online. Maureen's here to tell us what's happening now.
A system-wide Big Read encouraged patrons of all ages to explore the work of Edgar Allan Poe by participating in Poe-themed activities held throughout the system. The library faces tremendous budget cuts and kicked off a campaign to reimagine itself in the future. There are 37 libraries in Buffalo and Erie County Public Library System. The Jafarian family is planning on visiting each one in the course of a year. So far, they have visited 20 libraries and are keeping a blog of their progress.
Earl, I appreciate you being here today. What did you find interesting in collection development this year?
Both Baker and Taylor and Midwest provided selection carts to collection development staff for inclusion on the system checklist. This eliminated the need to shuffle through most of the standard library review sources. It was even better, but still a lot of work.
Earl, thanks for all your insights into the ever-changing world of collection development.
You're welcome, Taylor. I enjoyed being here today.
I'm Taylor Baker. Thanks for watching, and next time you're in a library, take a moment to think about all the steps your book took to get there.